Welcome to our Explainer, where we break down big ideas. Today we're diving into a really powerful concept from Christian teachings, the journey of trust. We're going to look at how to find a steady, solid hope, especially when the path ahead feels, well, uncertain.
So, let's just jump right in with a fundamental question that the source material asks every single one of us. Where do you really place your trust? It sounds simple, but the answer? Wow, the answer can reveal the entire foundation your life is built on.
You know, the source suggests that our default setting, for most of us, is to trust in worldly things. We rely on experts, our jobs, our bank accounts. Heck, we put a ton of trust in our own ability to figure things out. But here's the catch. The source argues that these things are shaky. They can and they will eventually fail. So it proposes a different focus for our ultimate reliance.
To really unpack this, we're going to follow a clear path. First, we'll tackle that big question of trust. Then we'll get a solid definition of what absolute trust really is. From there, we'll explore how to actually do this when things get messy and uncertain. Then we'll look at a cool way to reframe our past. And finally, we'll see how this whole journey leads to a powerful, unshakable hope.
Okay, let's dive into our first section. The source argues that the true test of your trust isn't what you say on a Sunday morning, it's what you do when you're under pressure. What you truly trust is revealed by where you turn first when problems hit the fan.
So just think about it for a second. When trouble hits, a scary diagnosis, a financial crisis, a relationship problem, what is your immediate gut reaction? Do you call your smartest friend? Do you frantically check your bank account? Do you start Googling solutions? That first resort, that's what reveals the real foundation of your trust.
And this right here is the crucial point. There can be this huge gap between what we say we believe and how we actually live. If our first move is to run to every other possible solution but God, it kind of shows where our day-to-day trust really is, doesn't it?
Okay, so that leads us to our next section. If our default isn't always absolute trust, then what does that even mean? Well, the source defines it as something much more than just a thought or a feeling. It's an action, it's physical, it's concrete.
Get this definition. Trust isn't just about mentally agreeing that something is true. The source defines it as the act of putting your complete weight on something, to literally lay down on it, resting your entire confidence there.
And this analogy is just brilliant. Think about the last time you sat in a chair. You didn't inspect its legs, you didn't read the warranty, you just sat. You committed your full weight to it, expecting it to hold you up. That simple act, the source says, is the perfect picture of what real trust looks like.
Now, this idea of absolute trust is one thing when life is good and the path is clear. But what happens when things get complicated? What about when you're in the middle of a storm and the future is a total fog? How does trust work then?
This is so key. The source argues that trusting God doesn't mean you get a 5-year plan delivered to your inbox. You're not going to get a complete map of your life from start to finish. Instead, trust promises something much more immediate and maybe much more helpful. Just enough light to see the very next step you need to take.
So it's this continuous, dynamic cycle, you see? It's not one big flash of lightning that reveals everything. It's a moment-by-moment journey. First, you get light for just one step. Second, you have to actually take that step in faith without seeing the whole staircase. And third, only after you take that step does the light move forward to show you the next one. It requires you to keep moving.
And this whole idea is rooted right in Scripture. Think about that image, a lamp to your feet. A lamp at your feet doesn't illuminate the entire forest ahead. No, it just shows you where to place your foot next so you don't stumble in the dark. It's immediate, it's personal, and it's for right where you are.
And this is exactly why faith is absolutely essential. You can't walk step by step like this without it. Faith is defined here as having it in your heart before you see it in your circumstances. It's all about walking by faith, not by sight.
Okay, this challenge hits home for all of us, right? We have all been there, feeling like we're in a maze and can't find the exit. So I'm really curious to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. How do you handle making decisions when you feel like you're totally in the dark? Your experience could be the light someone else needs for their very next step.
All right, let's move on to our next section. This one has a powerful and really practical metaphor for shifting our focus. It's all about learning to let go of what's holding us back so we can finally embrace what lies ahead.
The source uses a simple but profound analogy from something we see every single day, a car. The very design of your car has a built-in lesson on how we should view our past versus our future. The size of the windshield and the rearview mirror, that's no accident.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It's so direct. The rearview mirror, that's our past. It's small, it's designed for a quick glance to learn from where you've been. But the windshield, that's our future. It's massive. It needs our full attention because that is the direction we are headed.
And the source warns that trying to live your life by staring constantly in the rearview mirror, well, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Your past mistakes and regrets start to define your present identity. You get stuck, you can't move forward, and you completely miss the incredible view and all the opportunities that God has for you right in front, through the windshield.
This idea of intentionally pressing forward is a huge theme, echoing the words of the Apostle Paul. It's a call to adopt a windshield mentality, to forget what's behind and actively strain towards the future that's been prepared for you. So let's make this super practical. What's one small, actionable step you can take this week to shift your focus forward? Maybe it's letting go of a specific regret or starting a new goal. Share your idea in the comments below. Your small step might just be the big inspiration someone else needs to get moving. So, once we learn to stop driving while looking in the rearview mirror, where does that open road lead? That brings us to our final section. After we learn to trust, after we learn to focus forward, the destination is hope. Now, the source is very specific about what it means by hope. This is not wishful thinking. It's not just crossing your fingers and hoping things get better. It's an active, purposeful, firm expectation that something good is on its way, an expectation that's rooted in a deep trust even when your circumstances look bleak.
And this confident hope isn't just baseless optimism. It's anchored in a core belief, pulled from Scripture, that the ultimate plan for your life is for your good. It's the belief that the architect of your future is designing it to be filled with welfare and hope, not disaster.
And this illustrates hope's true function perfectly. In the storms of life, hope acts as an anchor for your soul. Now, an anchor might not stop the storm, but it holds you firm and steady, preventing you from being overwhelmed and smashed against the rocks.
Hope is described as this powerful, transformative force. It's like a beam of sunlight that pierces through the darkest clouds. It sustains you when you feel like you're about to despair. It refreshes you with new courage when you're afraid. And it gives you strength to endure challenges that would otherwise seem absolutely impossible.
And maybe the most encouraging part of all this is that you don't need to start with some huge, overwhelming hope. According to the source, even the smallest desire to believe, a single thread to hang on to, is enough. That tiny spark can be the very first step in a miraculous process of restoration.
And so we'll end with this final, thought-provoking question from the source. If you truly let go of the past, if you stop letting your mistakes and regrets define who you are, it opens up a critical question. What will define you instead? By anchoring yourself in hope, you create space for your future to be defined by something new, something greater. If you were inspired by this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Thankful. Feel free to share this video as well. Thank you, and God bless.